Rafael Vera Diaz is a famous Spanish bodybuilder who is 78 years old. Despite his advanced age, the man is actively engaged in sports, participates in championships, and even wins prizes there. His strength and stamina are the envy for many young athletes. Just look at the video where Rafael demonstrates his skills in the gym. Many young guys who regularly attend the gym are not able to do that. Watch this video to the end, and you will learn about all the secrets that make this old man stay in great shape. Rafael Vera is a three-time world champion in bodybuilding. He started his sports career quite late, at the age of 35. Despite this, he has managed to achieve great success in this field and is now engaged in training other people. He has been teaching gymnastics lessons for more than 25 years and sets an excellent example for many young people. The only thing that speaks about the real age of Rafael Vera is perhaps gray hair. Otherwise, he's an athletic, healthy man who surpasses many young athletes in his abilities. Rafael is the winner of the Amateur World Championships in 2006 and 2002 in the category Masters 60+. He is also the winner of the silver medal in the 2007 championship. Recently, Rafael decided to play a prank on young people in the gym and came there in the image of a clumsy old man. For the drawing, hidden cameras were previously installed in the room, and the man himself was dressed up in sports clothes and hid a large belly made of cotton wool under his clothes. Accompanied by his friends, two elderly men and one woman, Rafael entered the gym, where young people were just engaged. Everyone looked at the old man with surprise. Some barely restrained their laughter when the pensioners started testing the simulators. At first, Rafael pretended that he could not cope even with a small weight. After several unsuccessful attempts, he decides to take a heavier weight of 94 kilograms, which surprises the audience. Guys and girls were afraid that the old man would not hurt themselves, and when Rafael started lifting the barbell, they just held their breath. Some guys tried to repeat after the old man, but it ends in failure. After several exercises on the horizontal bar, the old man still reveals the secret, taking off the image of a fat old man. Rafael Vera is a shining example of the fact that it is never too late to start exercising and making it part of your life. He says that sports are what makes him feel like a young guy, and age is just a number. The man has 3 sons. All of them also play sports. Rafael says that he never drank alcohol or smoked. Rafael adheres to classic principles in nutrition and training. He watches what he eats, ignores bad habits, and continuously continues to train. He answers all the journalists' questions about the results achieved and performs the same thing. It's all about the training regime and nutrition. A healthy lifestyle solves all the problems. Rafael Vera has been training for almost 40 years and is not going to stop. He still does it himself and trains a lot of wars, and also continues to participate in amateur bodybuilding championships in veteran categories. Currently, he works as bodybuilding coach in a gym in Marbella, considering it his duty to help young people get involved in sports. According to Rafael, bodybuilding is the best remedy for aging, as training helps to improve the functioning of the musculoskeletal and cardiovascular systems, as well as force you to eat healthy foods, which ultimately allows you to stay awake for many years. In one of his interviews, Rafael Vera shared a few tips that help him stay in great shape. Friends, before we move on to the tips, we ask you to like and leave a comment under the video. This will help promote it, which will become motivation for even more people. Let's start with the main question. How do you get in great physical shape at age 78? My main advice is to learn how to dose stress, physical and emotional stress, so that you can cope with it, adapt, and become stronger. You need to find out what types of stress affect each function of the body and learn to train them consistently and regularly. Then it will get stronger and be able to live longer. By stress, I mean not just trouble at work or in the family, but in a broad sense. Stress is any external impact on the body that takes it out of homeostasis. Of course, it's also important to have patience and realize that you can't start taking care of yourself today and become healthy and beautiful in a week. The sooner you start exercising regularly and developing your body, the better. It is ideal if it happens in childhood, but if you miss this phase, then by the age of 35–40, you need to make a habit of moving regularly and spending time actively. Otherwise, it will be too late. This, by the way, is a great way to overcome or avoid a midlife crisis altogether. At what age did you start exercising regularly? At the age of 35. At first it was just morning 10-minute exercises. After a month, I started to feel positive changes in my body. It was easier for me to climb stairs. I began to fall asleep better. My appetite improved, my mood is much better, and many other positive changes. However, after half a year, I got used to this condition and how I felt. At that point, I wanted to go further and experience a new state. At this point, I came across an article in the newspaper that talked about a recently completed bodybuilding competition. It was at that moment that I knew I wanted to have an athletic body. The next day I signed up for a gym, and from that moment my journey in the sport began. How much time do you devote to physical activity? And how often do you exercise? My ideal pattern is a half-hour workout in the morning every day with no days off, and 5 workouts a week as planned, each of which takes about an hour and a half. The thing is, I have an almost professional athlete schedule because I compete in competitions and need to prepare for them. Friends, before we continue, we would like to recommend you to watch our other videos about longevity. You can find this playlist with a series of videos by clicking on the hint in the upper right corner or in the first pinned comment under this video. How do you motivate yourself to exercise regularly? What advice can you give to other people? I motivate myself by competing. Yes, I am motivated by more complicated things than others. But motivation can be different. Someone wants to lose weight by the summer, someone wants to start exercising regularly after the new year. This kind of motivation doesn't last long, because we don't feel progress. Exercise stops being interesting, and we start to compromise with ourselves. It is worth setting more specific goals, which can be measured quantitatively, to lose weight by the exact number of kilograms or to run a certain number of kilometers. As for running, here everything is quite simple. Beginners are motivated by the distance they can run. This continues from the first kilometers to the marathon. Rafael Vera is a shining example of the fact that it is never too late to start exercising and making it part of your life. Friends, what do you think of this man? Feel free to write your opinion in the comments. If this video was useful, but share it with your friends and give it a like.